Check it out, guys. We're back and we are showing you guys another new start that we did. Now, this project is in Wills Point, Texas. I just hadn't been here showing y'all this, but we got started on this a month or so back, and we want to get right into it, show you some of the details. But this is our Lone Star Landing, and the layout is just about identical when it comes to living square footage to our Wills Point build. But here we've got an extended carport, and we're going to show you a couple things that we changed on this build. Hope you enjoy this video. Let's get it going. Now, while we're actively under construction, I do want to point out a couple things. We are finishing up installing some of this zip product here on the front side, while our guys are going around doing some of the rolling our zip tape and our liquid flash. So I'll show you a little bit of that and what that looks like. Now, for those of you that have watched our Wills Point barndominium, this is like an identical replica when it comes to the living square footage. But this particular build has a carport, parking area, so to speak. This could be a shop. This could be an enclosed garage. Now, that's not what this one is. This is just going to be an open cover, which is roughly another 1,000 square feet of parking space. So this counts as kind of like a shop. We won't have the closed walls or the doors to come into it. But one of the things I like about what we did here is this is decorative on the open gable end. Now, you could most definitely do a skirting all the way around this if you wanted to add additional protection. But here we're using a tubing, which is, it's like a 3 by 10 inch tubing, I believe. Maybe a 3 by 8. But the thing I like about using tubing as opposed to just an open channel is, number one, it's thicker, and you don't have to worry about water coming inside, as well as it being pretty on one side and ugly on the other. So the tubing is a great way to do this if you're going to try to mimic wood and to make it look more like a natural wood beam. Now, for the most part, all we're going to do here is probably paint that black, just like we do on our porches, and just like we'll do with this post right here. So this is a 4x4 tubing that we use for our steel there. We do have overhangs that go all the way around, even over this spot. So you can see sort of what it takes for us to reproduce overhangs. This is not an easy part. It's just something we've become accustomed to doing on most all our builds. We do have overhangs. We feel like this gives it a little bit more of a residential feel, as well as just adds a little bit more dimension for the overall look. And gets water away from the house as best as possible. So today the guys are applying this liquid flashing, which is what you're seeing here, over all of our nail penetrations. Which they'll have to come back. They missed one here, but we've got a lot of this liquid flashes going on, and we're rolling the tape today. Our framer who's here will put this on, but he doesn't use the roller for the most of the part. He's just getting on to the next thing. But our guys come back and they roll this as well as apply this liquid flashing, which here he's doing it all in one day. But this is what our finished wall will look like as far as the Zip 2.0. So these guys will continue going around all of the walls, all the way around this build. But I want to take you inside. Also, another thing we do is we seal around the base of this. And some people may say, well, why are you doing that? Like, this is not even exposed to the weather. Well, a lot of times this is our natural routine of doing things, because this may be a garage where we have enclosed fumes and gases and stuff like that we're trying to protect the living quarters from being exposed to those things. So we treat all of our dividing walls like an exterior wall. So we like using these larger 29-ounce liquid flashing caulk tubes What this does is it keeps us from having to go back, get another tube, and you prevent all the extra waste that you might have from tube to tube. Now, we also like using the sausage tubes, which go in the barrel, and you're able to work it that way, which really helps you minimize loss. But sometimes it's an availability issue. But here, it's working well. These guys are hard after it. Another thing, as we're using that, you just use like a little flat putty knife. That's what they're using on all these penetrations. Something that they get from Home Depot. So coming inside, we're coming in off the covered parking. This is the laundry room. You guys remember we had just a beautiful display of cabinets here with countertops. Here you got the window. You'll have a mud bench out here on this side. This is a really nice setup once it's all said and done. But one of the things that's different here is we don't have this door that comes off the master suite where the toilet area is. So that has been eliminated from this particular plan. I'm not sure if we added that on the other build or if this was a decision the client made along the way. But you can see we've got our 2x6 studded walls, standard height windows with 6'8" for doors and windows, with our zip on the outside of this cavity. And this is our kitchen space with our full walk-in pantry. And you're getting our ceiling height here, which this should be exactly what you saw in Wills Point. So one of the things we're doing here in this space, you got a 12-foot eave height, you got 6/12 pitch, is across the top. We frame this down and make it a flat roof. The reason why we do this is so that we have a passageway for air conditioning to go from one side to the other. This gives us a little bit of versatility when it comes to HVAC design. Now, our HVAC guy is not here. This is just something we know that potentially we're going to need when it comes to coming from one side to the other. It also, like I said, it just gives us that versatility when we're designing the system. We don't have to worry about having a passageway. Otherwise, you would have to build a fur down on one side, which could be pretty ugly. Now, this is our front entrance here, which is not really going to give you any visual for the moment because he's got some of these and they still need to be cut out. So on the Wills Point build, you guys might remember we had a corner fireplace here. Here our client is changing that to put the fireplace in the center of this wall. So that's going to be a little bit different than what we did on the last build. Now, a corner fireplace, if you pay attention, you would have to route your vent stack up and over because there's a valley right there. So it's really not a good space or a good place for a fireplace anyways. This will give you a little bit better positioning and you'll be able to set up your furniture still in a similar manner. I'll show you the alternate bedrooms. We got 10-foot ceilings in here. We've still got a lot of this braced off. We still have our 2x6 exterior walls here, which all this will get spray foamed with our open cell foam. 10-foot ceilings, walk-in closet through here. Coming out of here, we'll have a dividing bathroom, and which will have a standard tub, and then we have another similar sized bedroom here with a walk-in closet. So for those of you that want to see this particular build finished, you could go look at our Wills Point barndominium and watch the tour video because it's going to look pretty similar. Now, we don't always build the same plan. This was just something the client really, I guess, stole or got the inspiration from is the word to use. And that's what the whole idea of our channel is about, so people can be inspired when it comes to their living space. And there's no point reinventing the wheel if there's already a design that works best. We do have a lot of these plans available if you check out bestbarndoplans.com. That's something that we have over 50 plans on there now. So this is our master bedroom our master bedroom, and you can see some of the design that's going on here. We got a pretty good sized room. Overall, this plan is 1,760 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. And now this is the bathroom I was telling you about. In the other house we had a walk-through pocket door that went here. So it gave them accessibility to the laundry room. I really don't think that's a bad idea, but that could easily be done at any point. You've got a complete walk-in shower. And although we're not testing this out, it is holding water. You guys can see that. So we don't even need a shower pan and we're holding water. But this is our walk-in closet here. So 10-foot ceilings again throughout. I want to show you a couple things that are important to know about our barn dominium and why we're able to achieve some of the air tightnesses. Is that the word? Air tightness that we can? You can see I've got some steel frame that runs across here, okay? Now he's putting a seal plate above that, below that, but one of the advantages here is I'm able to take my zip and run all the way continuously on the outside of that steel right there. Now, only reason we have that there is just gives us that connectivity from this beam to that beam. And then your roof line support enables them to build these valleys and all this other space up here. But we're able to encapsulate all that with our zip system. If you look over here on this end wall where our I-beam is running at the top, we have our I-beam allows us to have a flat surface on the bottom so we can run our top plate and attach it directly to the I-beam, which is an extreme benefit for us when we're trying to achieve air tightness on that kind of a build. In this case, we have that type of connection on this side of the house as well as that side of the house. So giving you a complete tie off when it comes to not having to notch around purlins and stuff like that in order to have a sealed connection. So just like on the other build, we do have this smaller porch on the outside, but one detail I want to show you is kind of like Monopoly framing where they're able to extend their zip all the way up. In this case, we aren't extending our zip all the way past these purlins, but we are able to seal those. You know, we attach our porch frame as well as our extension bump outs. We can attach these on the outside of our main frame, which allows us to have this overhang all the way down. So here's just your typical porch framing. Now, anytime you do porches, you got to think about it. It's adding stability to your overall main frame. So when you build a porch, it gives you a lot of extra support front to back when it comes to your main frame. Now, we don't size our steel based on having porches. All of our steel is sized to where it could last or be plenty of support whether you have a porch or not. But as we start adding a lot of this stuff to it, it just becomes that much more of a superstructure in that sense, which is what I feel like the steel does as well as the 2x6 studded walls. Okay, well, we're sorry about all the noise today, but this is what it's like if you get us out here on the job while these guys are working. So we promise we'll come back. We'll do another update out here on this build when it's a little bit quieter especially, but so you can take another look at the floor plan as well as the overall layout. Again, check the link in the description below. We'll give you guys a link to this floor plan on bestbarndoorplans.com. We're going to be showing you more updates on this build, and we appreciate all the new subscribers to the channel. We're trying to do more to give you guys at least 3 videos a week on our YouTube channel, so you can hopefully come back, be watching for that, ring the bell, pay attention for new videos when they come out. We need y'all's support. I'm Josh Helm, wishing you all the best. Thanks for watching. Texas Best.